Hey everybody, this is a video on that goes with the sales tax portion of your financial literacy packet. You are going to need at least one sheet of notebook paper. Please make sure your first and last name is on here with what period that you're in, and also title it Sales Tax pages 1 through 3. That means we're doing page 1, 2, and 3. Please watch the entire video so that you don't miss anything. And also, we're not doing every single question on every page, so please follow along with the video. So I'm going to fill in some stuff here on the packet, and then I'm also going to use the notebook paper for my work. So the beginning part for sales tax, it says sales tax is a percentage charged on goods or services. Taxes are used to fund various state and local government agencies and provide services to residents. All right, so it has a little picture diagram here, is that the item price, which is also called a subtotal, and then you add your sales tax, and that gives you the final cost. So it says, use the problems below to understand the impact of sales tax. Amanda is creating a shopping list for various gifts to give over the holiday season. The table shows the prices of the items that Amanda plans to purchase. Complete the table below to determine the amount of tax on each item and the total cost. So again, your price for the items, the item price, that is also your subtotal. So I have it written up there, subtotal. So it looks like we have different items here with their prices. We need to figure out how much tax they're gonna, each item is gonna have at an 8% tax rate. And then we're gonna find the overall total cost. So to do that, I'm gonna take the price of this the DVD here, and on my notebook paper, I'm going to label it DVD. And I know I'm going to have to find 8% of the price, which is $18.50. So when we have done this in class, we have talked several times about the word of, meaning to multiply. So we're going to have to change this percent to a decimal before we can multiply. We cannot multiply by just a percent. So to do that, percent means out of 100. So we need to move the decimal 2 times to the left. So it's going to go 1, 2, like that. So in this spot right here, we're going to have to put a 0. So it's really going to be 0.08 or 8 hundredths times $18.50. Okay, so this is the tax rate, and this is the subtotal, or the original price. And so we're going to multiply over here to find how much tax. For $18.50, I'm going to leave off that 0 because it does not change the value of the number, but it shortens my multiplication a little bit. So then I'm going to multiply this by 0.08. Please remember, we do not line up the decimals when we multiply. We just count the amount of decimal places in the end. So we're going to start off with 5 times 8, which is 40. I'm going to put a plus 4. 8 times 8 is 64. Plus 4 is 68. 8 times 1 is 8. Plus 6 is 14. So now I know that in my problem, I had 1, 2, 3 decimal places. So I'm going to move 1, 2, 3 decimal places to the left. And so my tax is going to be $1.48. So I'm going to put that here on my table, that the tax I'm going to pay on this DVD is $1.48. And now I have to find the grand total, the total cost. So I'm going to have to take the $18.50 and add it to the tax. So on here, we're going to have the $18.50 plus $1.48. And when we are adding, we do line up the decimals. So here we have 0 plus 8, which is 8. 5 plus 4 is 9. 8 plus 1 is 9. And 1 plus nothing is 1. And I'm going to bring that decimal straight down. So this is the total cost for the DVD, including tax. So I'm going to take the $19.98. I'm going to put it on here. And that's my grand total for the DVD, including the tax. So what you need to do is you will need to find the tax and the total cost for the book, the art set, and the candle, and fill in the table here. And then you need to answer letter A that says, if Amanda only has $40 to spend, then which items could she purchase? So you want to mess around with the numbers and see what things that Amanda could buy with only $40. Okay, so we are going to be doing the entire box for number 1. We are also going to do number 2, which says, Kane is purchasing treats for his puppy Roscoe. He selects a chew toy that is priced at $9. So that's just the regular price. If the sales tax rate is 6.5%, then determine how much Kane will pay in taxes as well as the total cost of the purchases. So this question actually is a 2-part question. It wants to know how much tax he's going to have to pay, and then what the final cost is on that. So this one is a little bit different as far as the rate goes because it is a percent with a decimal, but it's the same idea where we have a percent, which means out of 100. So we have 2 decimal places to make it in the 100th spot. So I'm going to have to move 2 decimal places to the left. So I'm going to start with where it is, and we're going to go 1, 2. And so we're going to find 0.065 of, which means to multiply, $9 to get the tax. Once you get the tax, remember you're going to add that back to the original price, which is $9, and that'll give you your total cost. Any of the work for number 2 needs to be on the scratch paper. Number 3, we are not going to do, so you can just put an X on number 3. And that's it for page 1. So for page 2, this side talks about non-taxable items. And in Texas, food that is not prepared is considered non-taxable. Snacks or convenience items are taxable. So if something is prepared for you, such as in a restaurant or things like that, that food is taxable. But if you're just buying the ingredients to cook something, then those ingredients are not taxed in a grocery store. So the subtotal we talked about on the first page, it's the sum, where you add everything up, of all items prior to any taxes or discounts. So they add all the original prices of everything before finding the tax amount or before taking off any discounts or coupons. The total is the grand total, including any taxes. So that's your final thing, whatever you have to pay the cashier. All right, so number 4 says Trent picks up a few necessities at his local neighborhood market. Use the receipt to answer the questions below. So this Trent guy went to Bullseye Market, and here's his receipt. And it shows you the items that he purchased, and these are the original prices before taxes. This tells you here whether it's taxed or not. So back up here, it says a receipt will designate an F for food, which is not taxed, and a T for taxable items, which are things that you will have to pay tax on. So letter A says determine the subtotal of all the taxable items. That would be your toothpaste and your dish soap. So you would find the tax for those two items. You can add them together and then find the tax, or you can find the tax on both of those items and then add them separate, the separate taxes, and then you can add them afterwards. It's up to you. B says calculate the sales tax that Trent will pay if the rate is 6%. So there's your rate, tax rate. Determine the total amount Trent will pay for his purchases. All right, so we're doing the entire number 4. Again, it's asking you to add up the taxable items on letter A, find the sales tax for letter B, and then find the total amount of everything on that receipt for letter C. Number 5, Mrs. Gomez purchased a pair of sneakers for $32.50 and 2 shirts, realize there's 2 shirts here, for $13 each. If Mrs. Gomez pays 8% in sales tax, then what is the total cost Mrs. Gomez will pay for the sneakers and shirts? So again, there's 3 total items. You have 1 pair of sneakers and 2 shirts. Please do your work for this problem on your notebook paper and put the final answer here. Number 6, we're going to cross out. We are not going to do number 6. And then number 7, a new oven is priced at $628.30. The sales tax rate is 7%. What is the cost of the sales tax on the new oven? So this one is only asking for how much tax this oven is going to have on it. You do not have to find the total amount. Whereas number 5, you have to find the tax and the total amount. So just note that difference there. At the bottom here, it says summarize today's lesson. You do not have to do that. All right, so this last page, number 3, it says match each correct answer to a letter and complete the riddle below. I put arrows here because this is important. Not all choices will be used. So down here, you have a bunch of different choices. There's 18 possible answers down here, but there are only 10 questions. So you will not use all of these letters down here. All right, so we are not going to be doing number 9. The answer to number 9 is W, or $16. So number 9 is W. So when you see a 9 down here, there's the 9, you're going to put the letter that goes in with the corresponding question number. So really you only have to do 9 questions on this page. This is all about sales tax. And if your answer choice is not here, then you probably should reread the question, or maybe you made a mistake in your calculations. But everything on this page here needs to be done. All the work for this page needs to be done on your notebook paper. If you have any questions about any specific question, please bring it to class before the day that the assignment is due. All right, thanks.